nation condemning a doctor responsible for making many parents think twice about vaccinating their children. A British medical journal calling that doctor's study linking vaccines to childhood autism a, quote, elaborate fraud. Dr. Robert Melillo's a neurologist. He's founder and executive director of Brain Balance Achievement Centers, with me here in New York. Good morning to you, doctor.
Good morning.
So there's a doctor out of England, Andrew Wakefield. He made a conclusion back in 1998. In fact, he lives in the U.S. now. So this is 13 years ago.
Right.
What was his study that was considered to be so fraudulent?
Well, you know, I think the background on this is that parents for years have noticed that at around 17 or 18 months, many children seem to regress with autism, meaning that many parents believe that they're developing normally and then all of a sudden there's this dramatic regression. So at this point, there was a study that he was doing to look at if there was a relationship between the MMR vaccine.
MMR is measles, mumps, and rubella.
And especially the measles portion of that, he questioned. And he said that there was a relationship where there was basically like an infection where this vaccination, it caused an inflammation in the child that led to the cause of autism.
Yeah. So his claim has been debunked because 12 of the kids he studied, they were normal until they had the MMR shot. 5, as it turns out, had previously documented developmental problems, which would skew the study itself.
Right. There's
so, but I mean, parents have been hanging on this, trying to figure out answers for their own kids for the better part of 15 years now. Autism went from 1 in 10,000 in the early 90s to fewer than 1 in 100 in less than 2 decades.
Well, this is the thing. Because there is this regression that parents see, and also because there is this actual epidemic. I mean, one of the things that we can't deny is that there really is an epidemic going from 1 in 10,000 to less than 1 in 100. So when you look at that, there must be some environmental factors driving this. So that is what raised a lot of the questions and made parents think, what is the environmental factor that's leading to this? And everybody was looking for a smoking gun, and this study actually gave them that smoking gun.
What was Wakefield's motivation? Do we know?
Well, you know, the question is, you know, there's 2 sides of it. He states that he's just doing it from a scientific standpoint and trying to help parents that came to him with questions. On the other end, there are people claiming that, you know, he was paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for the study. So there's, you know, questions on either end of it.
Bottom line, parents out there are worried, they're concerned. What do you tell them? What should they know? What do you say to a parent who says, my kid was fine and healthy to the age of 3, and he got a vaccination the next day, sure enough, he took a turn for the worse? Yeah,
well, most of the studies at this point clearly show that there isn't a relationship with vaccinations, but there does need to be more studies, and it needs to be looked at. But what we really need to be focusing on is what is actually the problem in the brain, because you can't answer a question on causation until you actually know what autism is in the brain.
It's important information. I appreciate you coming in today.
My pleasure.
Dr. Robert Melillo with us here in New York. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.